Mark, I think he's ready.
Yep, he's ready.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to the folks that are on Zoom. I would like to ask the Secretary Treasurer to please call the roll.
Scott Horowitz,
I am present.
Ed Warner Jr., present. Richard T. Marin,
Here.
Joe McLaughlin,
Here.
Matt Parsons.
Here.
We're all here.
Okay, June 17th, 2024, 1 p.m. General Session of the Trustees. Welcome everybody. Just for information, our next meeting is not until July 15th. The work session will begin at 9:30 a.m. here at Town Hall, and with the regular meeting following at 1 p.m. We do have some communications that have come in. I will dispense with reading them. Everybody has gotten copies of them.
Second on
Second,
that.
Trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We do have a public hearing. Number one here, notice of public hearing on amendment of Blue Book 8340, rating the management products of the waters of the town of Southampton, Article 1, definitions. Article 11, Section 61. It's under the heading of boat ramp and 4x4 beach driving permits. I will make a motion to open a public hearing.
Second.
Seconded, Trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I see Special Counsel Joseph Lombardo is at the podium to explain this
Purpose, yes.
purpose.
Good afternoon. Earlier in the year, we had amended the Blue Book to include a commercial ramp, a non-bayman or non-fisherman category for the commercial use of our ramps, bulkheads, docks, and the like. This is to clarify the intent and to more clearly state it. Basically, what's going to happen is if a contractor who's doing work on a bulkhead or a dock or something for a property owner is going to be utilizing a trustee facility for a period of time, we are requiring that they notify us that they're going to be using it, for how long, and what type of, is it a vessel, whatever is going to be utilizing a trustee-owned facility, they have to let us know what kind of activity is going to take place at the location. The problem many times is that people just tie, they'll tie a barge or something off. They're allowed 2 hours, but it's something which is being used to aid the construction of a property owner. We're just looking to have a clarification so that when the complaints come into the office, we can say, yes, it's going to be there for 48 hours, it's going to be there for 3 days, 4 days, whatever. And it's just to give a clarification, but also to give everybody notice so that if there's damage to our facility, we have an idea who we have to look to for repairs or making us whole.
Okay, thank you, Joseph.
Thank you, Joe.
So, anybody else want to speak to that? I mean, we've got a big responsibility here.
They would just have to, people have to have responsibility for the damage that's done to trustee docks.
Well, historically, there has been issues where construction barges were tied up to our docks and there were damage done and no one was accountable for any of it. So this would be accountability for the, whatever happens there. And that way we can make sure that it gets rectified and fixed.
Yeah.
And now, do they also have to provide us with liability insurance and stuff like that?
On the application.
On the application.
Want to speak to that, Joseph?
Yeah, that's important because
Fees and,
Yeah, no, this is all information which would be on the permit application. They're going to have to name it. And also, we require them to, if they're going to use, like a sub or somebody that's going to be there temporarily, we need to know. Because, again, if something is damaged, we have to be made whole.
okay.
we need to give Marine Patrol good information so that there can be proper enforcement
Correct.
of this. So if we get a notification they're coming in, we can alert the Marine Patrol. They can take the crews down, who's ever got the sector where it's coming in. Just, make note of what's going on down there, and then they'll know if they're supposed to be there 24 hours, 48 hours. If there are questions from the public, they can be answered fairly and honestly, because everybody will have good information at that point in time when the vessel's coming in, when it's leaving. And there's been a lot of problems where, people are just kind of using the facilities like they own them, which creates a lot of friction among the public. And what it does is it blocks out other user groups that want to go there and use that facility. And it's not right. It's a necessary activity that has to occur to keep things moving on the waterfront. That's the purpose of the existence. And we want to facilitate that reasonably.
Well, it's a finite resource, and we have to be able to have some sort of an idea who's using the facility for how long and for what purpose, because if they shouldn't be there, then perhaps an enforcement action or something would lie, and we have to, again, make it open to the public as much as possible.
And that's what it's about. The other side of it is that when you have to repair these facilities, it's a substantial amount of money to do this. We're paying almost $100,000 in debt service on an annual basis for the repair of these facilities so that everybody in the town can use them. And you want to have a mechanism to maintain them as best you can for as long as you can, because they're expensive. And when they do fall in disrepair, you want to make sure that you have the ability to continue to repair them. Because, when I first got here, there was a lot of these things that had caution tape across them, and you were not able to use them. They were liabilities. They weren't assets. And the ones that have become assets, you want to keep them that way.
Correct.
And so you need to formalize things, and you need to run it kind of ship shape.
Well, and also similar to the lines that we're having with the problem in East Quogue, where there's an abandoned vessel, you also don't want a commercial entity that's taking over that dock for an extended period of time for a reason that is not substantiated. It's one thing if you have engine failure or repairs that need to take place, but if you're just kind of like in a holding pattern for your next job that's 2 weeks down the road, I don't think it's right that a contractor is tied up to this dock.
No, that's true. And for as long as I've been associated with the board, we've always been accommodating to the maximum extent possible for things like engine failures and things like that. But we do have to have some sort of an idea what's going on at our facilities. And that advance notification is very important.
I think that's a reasonable request.
Yep.
Right?
Thank you, Joe.
Anybody from the public on this public hearing point of this like to speak, or anybody on Zoom that would like to speak on this public hearing topic? No one on Zoom wishing to speak, sir? Would you like to speak on this? Are you here for this public hearing? Okay. All right, well, anybody else have any questions, concerns? I would make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Trustee Warner. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. That's closed, and the board will vote on that when they're ready. Is that adoption paperwork here?
No, it'll be on the next meeting.
Okay. All right, so what I'll do now is I will open up the public portion of the meeting. A few minutes, if anybody has to address the trustees, we'll give you 3 minutes of time for whatever the issue is. If there's any hands up on Zoom, there's a gentleman here, you need to address the board on public portion. You gotta go to the podium, sign in, state your name, and tell us why you're here.
My name is Steve Ryder. I'm a resident on 191 Long Neck Boulevard in Flanders.
Okay.
It was suggested that I come here by Eric, a former trustee. I have a covenant on. I had a house on Long Neck which was too low. Long story short, we tore it down. We built a new house, and there was a part of a covenant there for the conservation easement, 20 feet from the bulkhead, which I had a prior trustee permit for a 4-foot boardwalk. So when I got out of my boat, we could stand not in wet grass and wash it down. We'd be on the boardwalk. There's no problem with that, but conservation people through Marty Shea's office came out and asked me to remove 2 existing light poles that were there and a boat lift, which is one single pole with a davit on it, so that I could plant this non-disturbance buffer area. I have a map picture if somebody wants to look at it. These items were in place long before I went for the permit to rebuild the house. And the condition of getting me that, I guess, permit was to put this non-disturbance buffer in, which I agreed to, and I will plant whatever they want in that area. They're gonna give me a 4-foot strip to cross over to the boardwalk, which is fine. It's a fully bulkheaded canal, man-made canal. And I don't want to take the 2 poles and the boat lift out.
All right, well, this is not anything we're gonna resolve here at public portion. We're gonna have to take a look at this and
All right, I only came, like I said, Eric, I forgot his last name, he was a trustee. Who?
Schultz.
Schultz, he
Yeah.
told me to come,
Right,
that's the only reason I came.
Yeah.
Could you just, do you mind just bringing them up quick? Just so you have because when, eventually you're gonna have to get all this to James, and then we're gonna have to put this on a work session.
well, no. Let's do this. Your public portion, I think what we should do is, let's just get your information to James, and then let's figure out when we can pull some files and see exactly what's going on here. This is not really a public portion resolution sort of thing that could occur here. So let's get your information, and this way we can at least have a conversation where, yeah, I mean, let's get your information.
I
and
only
we'll-
came here on advice, this is not my work.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
This
we're
is-
just trying to make this go right by you in the best manner
Sure.
forward.
yeah,
So that
this is not. Yeah, this is.
we're not throwing you under the bus at all. We're trying to work with you.
No, but this is not the purpose of a public portion.
You know, you'd just get, more than likely, you talk to the trustee in the area, invite him down for a site inspection.
It's gonna be Matt for that area. So
And then you go down there and look at the site, evaluate it, and see what applications for a permit or whatever is in our jurisdiction. We basically take from the bulkhead, you know, land where 10 feet is our jurisdiction. Everything else is from 10 feet, land where that is Marty's jurisdiction.
right. So let's just get
We need a
exchange
review.
information and
Yep.
make an appointment at an appropriate time so you can actually see what's going on.
He can get you, Matt.
Yeah, let me give it. Oh, you.
All right. Is there anybody else here from the public or anybody else that wants to address the board before we jump into our applications for permits? Nobody's got their hand up here. Anybody got their hand up on Zoom? All right. So I'll make a motion to close public portion.
Second.
Second to trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's jump into the applications for permits. Board of Trustees hereby waives the public hearing on the following applications. It has been determined that the following projects do not raise a significant degree of public interest or public input is not needed to aid in the decision-making process. I have Resolution 2024-166, application of Ann DeBoer, 14 Shinnecock Road, Village of Quogue, tax map 902-10-2-9, Pennington Creek. Recommend its approval.
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
I
Yeah,
have
take that
trust-
back, and I'll meet with you over there. We'll talk about it.
I have trustee resolution 2024-167, renewal application. It's a second renewal of GP 000415, Henry J. Klepecki, 27 Mullen Road, East Quogue. Recommend its renewal.
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2024-152, application for Cold Mountain LLC, 16 Sonderham Lane, Shinnecock Hills, Suffolk County Tax at 900-271-1-48.3, Body Water, Shinnecock Bay. We worked on this at work session, meets all the approvals.
This is going to be the one we need to do the amendment on.
Okay.
So it's got to be tabled.
No,
No,
make a
Oh, we're
motion
gonna do
to
it right
amend
now?
on the floor.
we're
Okay.
gonna amend on the floor.
Okay.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded trustee Marin, all in favor?
All right. Joe, we're
Okay,
going to,
you have a clause there, further resolve, the following conditions shall apply. We're going to include the condition issuance of actual permit subject to receipt of a signed sand maintenance agreement.
so is everybody in agreement that we could substitute this in here?
You have a
Okay.
motion?
A motion to accept it?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye. And motion for the underlying
To the resolution as
resolution
amended.
as amended.
Seconded by trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
It's adopted, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joe.
It is adopted.
So we're good on that one. Trustee Resolution 2024-168, renewal of application, the first one of 27 Nautilus Drive LLC, 27 Nautilus Drive, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-322-3-17, Body of Water Wells' Creek. We approved this previously, so I recommend its approval again. Need a second?
Second.
Seconded trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2024-169. It's an application of the 61 Cliff Drive Family Limited, 61 Cliff Drive, Noyak, New York, 900-9-1-16, body of water is Sag Harbor Cove. This is just a low sill bulkhead application. Can I have a second on that?
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Application, resolution 178-24. This is, application of 370 Tower Street, Warrenville, New York. Tax number 900-178-1-22-001. I make a motion for approval.
I'll
Second that.
second that.
Seconded trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
One nay.
Application 171-24. This is a address 1183 Noack Road. This is a tax number 900-42-3-54. I make a motion for approval.
I'll second it.
Seconded by trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 172-24. This is a application for 85 Diane Lane in the village of Southampton. Tax number 904-12-11-2. I make a motion for approval.
I'll second that.
Seconded by trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
These are Matt's.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, so I got trustee resolution 2024-172. This is a renewal application of Southampton Reparcel LLC, 85 Down East Lane, Village of Southampton. Village of
Oh, that was
Southampton.
me.
Sorry, we just did that one. The sponsor was wrong.
Hmm.
My apologies.
Oh,
So
You gotta
we're
do
on
one-
page 9 now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 173.
yeah, 173.
All right, that's all right. Trustee resolution 2024-173. Renewal application of Beach Getaway LLC, 132 Point Road, Village of West Hampton Beach, New York, on Richards Bay. Can I get a second for this, please?
Second on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I've got the trustee resolution 2024-174. It's a notice of adoption of amendment of Blue Book A340, amending the management and products of the waters of the town of Southampton, Article 7, dredging docks, bulkheading and channels, whereas the trustees of the freeholders and commonality of the town of Southampton consider the change in the rules and regulations and management of products of the town, and whereas the Board of Trustees of the freeholders of commonality held a public hearing on Monday, June 3rd, 2024 at 1 p.m. And resolved that Article 7, Chapter 47 of the Rules and Regulations for the Management of the Town Waters, aka the Blue Book, is hereby amended as follows. The Board of Trustees for the Town of Southampton desires to update the rules and regulations of management. Inspection application fee established by resolution duly adopted by the Board of Trustees shall be charged in applications for permits, non-refundable, with additional fees on docks, ramps, catwalks, tie-off poles, bulkheading, riprap, revetments, retaining walls, and fencing drawings and dredging. Applicable term of fees will be calculated as of the date of the passage of the trustee resolution granting the permit.
So you want a second on that?
I'll second
That would be helpful. Seconded by trustee McLaughlin. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. 2024-175, recall and amend resolution 2024 TRUS 11 to authorize the continuation of retaining the professional services of Joseph Lombardo for legal consultation. It's our special counsel. 2024-11 was adopted on January 8th, authorizing payment for the professional services of counsel. For 2024, that resolution shall be recalled and amended to amend the amount from in the amount not to exceed $15,000 to an in amount not to exceed $25,000, and so be it resolved.
I'll second it.
Seconded by trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye. This is trustee resolution 2024-176. This is notice of a public hearing on the amendment of the Blue Book A340, amending the management and products of the waters of town of Southampton, Article 7, Section 53, pier line and designated areas. This is in reference to the Sag Harbor Cove, that we had in last work session. I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Trustee Warner for the scheduling of a public hearing for Monday, July 15th, 2024 at 1 p.m. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have Trustee Resolution 2024-177. Recall and amend 2023 TRUS 331 to amend the Board of Trustees fee schedule for 2024 for beach events. Incurred application late fee incurred if complete application is submitted sooner than 7 days. The current fee is $400 and the 2024 proposed fee is $400. And we have a miscellaneous for copies and prints at 25 cents.
I'll second on that.
Seconded by Trustee Warner. All in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2024-178 authorizes the purchase of a shellfish ID printer. Ours is broken, so we are in bad need of it, so I recommend its approval.
Seconded by Trustee McLaughlin. All in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2024-179, the warrant 10 of 2024 for the sum of $49,043.50. The register reads as 84 lumber, $5,642.18. Call ahead, $50. Cornell Carpet Extension for $37,655. W.W. Granger Inc., $412.31. Hampton's Creative Group, $1,595. Inner Science, $290. Loper's Equipment, $211.44. James Olivo, $2,312.50. Riverhead Building Supply, $169. The Town of Southampton, $509.57. And W.E. Mason Company Inc., $196.59 for a total of $49,043.59. So I recommend its approval. Need a second?
Second.
Seconded. Trustee Parsons. All in favor?
All right.
All right. Is there any walk-ons?
We have
Yes.
to it.
Okay.
I'll make a
Who's
motion to
asking
walk
permission to walk them on?
out. I'll make a motion.
All right. You seconded, Trustee Warner?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All right.
Okay, they're walking.
First one is a authorization of the president to sign an agreement with Cash and Associates PC to provide environmental assessment and the secret for the development of the aquaculture program in Shinnecock Bay. We worked at this for almost 2 years, establishing the aquaculture program, and this is finalizing the assessment of the areas that we propose and also the secret process. So I recommend that we approve hiring Cash. And I need a second.
Second.
Seconded. Trustee Parsons. All in favor?
Aye.
Then,
Yes, there is. Authorize the president to sign an agreement with the School of Marine Science and Atmospheric Sciences of Stony Brook University, SOMAS, for the installation and operation of environmental observatories in Mecox Bay. We use these devices to monitor the water quality and of the bay through the CPF 20 funding. These are instrumental in keeping the quality of Mecox water good. As you know, with an article in the newspaper that we've had some issues with fecal coliform, so this helps us take a harder look at the water quality in the embayments that we manage. So I recommend its approval.
I will second it. Second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just trying to keep everybody safe around Mecox Bay and keep a
Yeah.
healthy watershed. That's what's an imperative of the trustees.
Yes.
I think that concludes the formal session. Is there anybody have any discussions that they need to bring up before we jump back into the executive session?
Yeah, do you want me to read it out?
You can read it.
Yeah. All right, so there's an issue with out-of-town, an army of clammers that are headed to Southampton because we have a resource that a lot of other guys want to get in on, and we are making steps to secure that resource for the freeholders of the town of Southampton that have put so much effort into building that resource back. So I'm going to read a letter from the Southampton Town Baymen's Association. It's been brought to my attention that the Southampton is the only town left on the island that does not restrict new applicants into the town shell fishery. That is in combination with the collapse of Long Island Sound shell fishery in the state waters has sent a lot of baymen scrambling for a place to clam. Rumor has it that there's 30+ baymen that need a place to harvest. Word is out that Southampton has a strong stock of hard clams and razor clams and lacks stringent laws on its entry. We are strongly in favor of putting a moratorium on permits for a few months while we figure out how to deal with this influx that has already begun. Thank you in advance. This is William T. Caldwell, President of the Southampton Town Baymen's Association. So this is a issue that is has got to be acted on fast in a manner by which the town is not opened up to litigation, but in the same respects protects the assets that we have so diligently provided for both recreational and commercial harvesters. Ed?
Yeah, I mean, basically, we worked with Cornell. 18 years I've been on the board. Shellfish reseeding every year. Worked with Stony Brook University and the Shinnecock Bay Restoration, Cornell Cooperative Extension with their Pew Oyster projects, and the Governor's Clean Water Task Force. We've closed several parts of the bay to sanctuaries for commercial and recreational purposes of non-harvest. So the baymen in the town have given up a lot of their valuable assets to contribute to make the bays a better area for harvesting. And it would be a shame that if we didn't act soon and quickly and with a lot of due diligence that we could be over harvesting the stocks that we have here now. So I think I'd like to have our attorney, Joe Lombardo.
Yeah, I'd recommend just setting it for public hearings.
We are.
Since
We are.
You're gonna, okay,
I'm
good.
taking care of it.
Beautiful.
One other suggestion, as Trustee Warner mentioned, the work that we did with the governor's office, we set up a sanctuary area with a sizable population of clams. I would respectfully suggest that we get in contact or keep in contact with the Environmental Conservation Police to patrol the area where those shellfish that we got from New York State that are in sanctuary status for 25 years are protected from being harvested in the interim.
There's one other item along those lines, Joe, and I would like input from the rest of the board. Right now, as we have it with our current restrictions on the quantity that you can harvest in a day per vessel, it keeps guys to make a day's pay. So currently, you know, but the problem is there are a lot of these newcomers to the town, because they're actually not in the township, are going to be taking higher levels of shellfish than we were actually permitting, and I would like enforcement within the next couple months to be ramped up. If you're over the limit, you get a ticket. It's, you know, a real ticket. 2 infractions would we've really got to address people's rights of their shellfish permit to be taken away for the year if you break the limit multiple times. So I don't know the legalities of it, and I don't know how we go about getting Marine Patrol to be at. There's only a couple ramps where these guys are landing, and 5 counts of clams is more than enough to make a day's pay. And if guys are going over the limit, we've got to really put the stops on it, because the other thing that is happening right now is the buyers are cutting back the days by which we can actually harvest, and some guys are over harvesting their actual legal limit to make the truck to make up for the days that they won't be able to clam. So Marine Patrol is going to have to be notified and going to have to take steps to enforce the laws that the town board has written.
That's agreed, but as I said, we have a number of sanctuary areas that could be very inviting for somebody trying to poach. We really do have to keep an eye on that as well.
I agree, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
So we'd like to set a public hearing there?
100%.
Well, do we gotta do a resolution,
We'll have a resolution for the next meeting.
right?
Okay.
Okay,
So we can have the notice of public hearing on for the July 15th meeting, and then I believe the next meeting is August 5th to hold the public hearing.
And we would also schedule the adoption August 5th as well.
Yeah, that's the
I don't think
soonest.
we need to hold it open for public comment. We're trying to study the issue, so.
no, we have to do everything we can to maintain the sustainability in the resource, because you've seen this happen in other areas where you depleted it beyond, its ability to properly filter water and properly reproduce on a sustainable basis, and it ruins it for everybody, and it capitulates. So we have to take an action to protect. And we did. All the stakeholders of this town did invest in this over the past decade plus, okay? And we've been able to get the dividends from that. And I'm concerned about it generationally. And the only way that you can sustain that is by properly regulating it.
Right, and if the purpose of a moratorium is to put a halt to the status quo to allow us to study the issue, then delaying the adoption of the moratorium is counterproductive in my mind.
Chip has an excellent point as well. You need enforcement, because everybody has to, play by the rules when it comes to this. It's very, very, very important, and I think that's a good message.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we seeing people who are not residents actively commercially
Yes.
shellfishing in Southampton homeowners?
Yes.
And are these people like, where is enforcement? And wouldn't that be something? that
Well,
would
I
just
mean,
be-
the problem is the nuances of residency gets a little corrupted. So actually using code enforcement to physically see if the claimers that are claiming residency are actually residents would be the first step. And this second step would be enforcement.
I'm all for that, Chip, but how you define residency, that's the question.
I wouldn't get ahead of ourselves in
Yeah.
terms of discussing at this point. Let's do the moratorium, and then we certainly will open it up to public input.
I agree.
All right. Is there any other discussions?
I just want to quickly thank the staff, because last week we had some technical difficulties at the office, and despite that, they were all at their posts and working hard. I know it wasn't just us; it was also other town departments as well, or other town offices. So I want to publicly thank our staff for staying diligent and doing their job. So thanks
Yes.
for that.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Everybody's doing a great job. Appreciate that. Serving the public's very important. Yeah, got some press this past week about Mecox and the fecal coliform situation that goes on there, and we're doing everything we can to take care of that watershed. It's a very complex issue that anyone that follows the trustees will understand. It is what it is. We're doing the best that we can. Hopefully everybody will get around the table and we'll get some good resolutions to this. I know we have some further executive discussions, and I don't want to be leaving this meeting. Is there anything else that you folks want to bring up? We're good? All right, so then I'll make a motion to adjourn and go back into executive session for the continued discussion of legal counsel, potential litigation, personnel issues.
I'll
Seconded, trustee McLaughlin. All in favor?
Hi.
All right.
Have a great afternoon, everybody.